Where in the world is Ron DeSantis? That's what a lot of people want to know, especially since Florida right now is in the midst of a bit of a crisis. You see, they are shattering records for new coronavirus infections, thanks to, of course, the Omicron variant. Now, according to the Washington Post, it's gotten pretty bad. The state on Wednesday reported 46,923 new cases from Tuesday as the Omicron surge nearly doubled Florida's previous peak over the summer, breaking the record for new daily infections that was just set on Christmas Eve. Now, Florida is now averaging more than 30,300 new coronavirus cases a day, according to data tracked by the Washington Post, which is second in the nation to New York. Now, there is one upside in the data that we've been seeing. So now Florida has about 63% of their population that's vaccinated. That's a good thing. And that's actually slightly above the national average, which is very, very strange. But again, the upside here is that while coronavirus cases have increased, deaths have decreased. That's good. Now, again, that's modern medicine. You've got people who are vaccinated. You also have treatments for the drug that are more effective than they used to be as well. But the problem, of course, now is that with so many cases, you now have hospitals that are being absolutely overloaded. And so that's what we're seeing now. These Omicron cases are still overloading hospitals with unvaccinated people. In fact, there was a story that came out, I forget where I saw it and where it was located. And so I wish I had that information like right now that I could recall it. But there was, so let's just take this as a grain of salt, like anecdotal. But what I did read is that there was a hospital where it finally happened. Somebody coded in a waiting room because the hospital was full of coronavirus patients. And I'm sure that's happened. I'm sure that's happened plenty of times by now because you have so many unvaccinated people that are being put into the emergency room, into these COVID wards, and they're just full. And that was the whole point of masking and vaccinating to make sure, and social distancing and not going to giant gatherings. It's not to, yes, it's to slow the spread and to make sure that we don't overload the hospital system. And that's really the point. That's the point of the mandates. That's the point of the masks. That's the point of all of this. Because we know, COVID is essentially here to stay, unfortunately. And we've got these variants that continuously get more and more aggressive, more contagious, that are spreading around faster. And so, again, we have to, as a society, take some steps to kind of slow that down to make sure our hospitals and our medical professionals don't get overloaded and people don't code in the waiting room, which obviously, at this point, unfortunately, there are stories of that happening. Yet, one more thing here, just to show you the number of cases here in Florida, the number of cases this week has exploded by 182% compared with the previous 7-day period. Yikes. Now, while all of this is going on, Ron DeSantis is on a milk carton somewhere. We don't know where he's at. Now, I think, to be fair, yesterday he might have tweeted something at AOC from some undisclosed location. But, other than that, where's Ron DeSantis? Where is he? What happened? Now, again, he's getting criticism, obviously, from Democrats in Florida, but here's Orange County, Florida Mayor Jerry Demings. Earlier at a news conference this week, he said that counties have yet to receive funding for increased COVID testing during the holidays. So now there's reports of COVID, testing sites having lines about a mile long. So, yeah, disastrous. He also questioned why DeSantis has been largely absent during this period. Quote, "We have not received any assistance from the state of Florida at our testing sites. Our residents, all Florida residents, should be outraged, and they should ask the question, where is our state? Where is our governor? Where is Ron DeSantis now?" I don't know. That's a good question. Because again, nobody's really seen him for a couple of weeks. In fact, the last public appearance he made was on December 17th at a news conference. Oh, and he did appear on Fox News on December 19th talking about how, oh, he didn't get the booster. I mean, he got the normal shot, but he didn't get the booster. Interesting. Now, spokeswoman Christina Bashaw tweeted out and said, well, he's just on vacation. Oh, you're on vacation. Oh, during a gigantic emergency that is COVID. Now, I understand that, there are times where it's holidays, vacation, right? Vacation. Well, here's what Bashaw wrote. He has a wife and 3 kids, ages 1 to 5, and it's not surprising if he wants to take a few days off at Christmas to spend time with the family, especially as his wife is battling cancer. Okay, look, I'm not a terrible person. Some of you might disagree, but I'm not a completely unreasonable person. I get it. Like, yeah, every once in a while you gotta take a break, right? I totally get it. Now, did they extend that same courtesy to Pete Buttigieg when he decided to take paternity leave? No, of course not. Are you kidding me? No, they attacked constantly. Where's Pete Buttigieg? Pete Buttigieg! Why is he not there? Dude, he's got a staff. He'll be fine, right? And by the way, yes, is the supply chain a crisis? Yes, there are issues with the supply chain. Is that directly causing inflation? No. Inflation at this point is actually caused by corporate greed. And there are a lot of studies that an analysis of what's going on when you look at, for example, how much profit these corporations have been bringing in over the pandemic and how much aid they've received during the pandemic from the federal government. They've been raising their prices just because they can get away with it, because they're greedy POSs. But again, supply chain crisis, yes, technically I guess a crisis. Is it as important as a health crisis? No, I don't believe so. I don't believe so at all. I think the health crisis is much more disturbing, especially, if you're the governor of a state. And so, again, I think that at the very least, he could come out and give some general guidance and say things like, hey, I get vaccinated, everybody. Omicron is bad. It's terrible. We got to make sure that, you do your part so that our hospitals don't get, overflow or anything like that, so that we can take care of each other. Now, is Ron DeSantis going to do that? No, of course not, because he doesn't care enough to do that. It's going to interrupt my vacation. I don't want to do that. Screw all of you. No, I'm going to pull a Ted Cruz. I'm just going to leave. Look, it's also important to note that a lot of the policies that Ron DeSantis put into place contributed to this, blocking mask and vaccine mandates. One of the reasons, I think, behind the surge, along with, of course, Omicron, which is incredibly contagious. But yeah, basically his decisions help to exacerbate the crisis. And then after he does that, the guy just fucks off. He's like, see you later, losers. Vacation time. Woo! Hope you like COVID. I mean, again, maybe he tried to nope out because, he wanted to get away from the state and let the disaster blow over. It could have been that. Or there's another possibility. He got COVID. Did he get COVID? He might have gotten COVID. And if that happened, he really wouldn't want anybody to know. Maybe it's even severe COVID. Now, I hope not. I'm not a terrible person. I don't wish that on anybody. But, if he did, I mean, that would be kind of ironic, wouldn't it? I think so. Either way, if you ask any questions of his spokesperson, Bashaw, she will literally block you on Twitter. Oh my God, no, that's not at all suspicious. Not at all.